Hey lot, happy Tuesday. Today's video is somewhat of a challenge video. It's something you may have seen before in I think one of my sketchbook tour videos. I basically fill a page with random silhouette shapes and then challenge myself to make something out of the shapes. Sometimes I just do faces. In this case I decided to do objects as well. So shout out to the Instagram peeps that guessed this one right from the sneak peek I posted yesterday. And I'm using a Copic Chow marker from a grayscale set. I think the colour is C1. I'll have all the proper info in the description. So I started out with something I thought would be relatively easy and turned my first silhouette blob into a face. I did a really light sketch at first just to get the ideas in place and see if it would work, and then just cracked on with a harder line. I really liked this one, it just worked really well. It fit the shape almost perfectly. The top of his head is a bit dodgy, but I think it gives him character. I ended up with something more stylized than I would normally draw, and I wish I could draw like this more often. I find myself always accidentally putting things into the right proportions and stuff, even when I'm trying to make things exaggerated or cartoony. So this is a great way to force yourself out of that. Next was another relatively easy one. I decided to turn this squarish shape into a building. I wasn't using any references at all for any of these, which was another part of the challenge, but then it goes to show the more you draw something, the more you get like a mental encyclopedia building up in your head, because I found it quite easy to draw a nice building just taking aspects from real buildings that I've remembered from drawing them before. So the next one took a lot of thinking to figure out what I could do with the shape. I actually spent more time trying to come up with things than I actually did drawing for this challenge. I felt like this was quite a head shape, but I wanted to be a bit more creative than that, and I got the idea that it could be kind of a hand in a loose fist. So yeah, more hands to draw. I do definitely think my hands are improving. I actually think this turned out to be the best hand I've ever drawn. Maybe not visually, but for how easily it kind of came to me. Like I felt more confident in knowing what I was doing for this one. Which again just shows how doing things over time, again and again, can gradually bring improvement. With this one I really didn't know what to do with it, and in the end I settled on like a guy's head with a weird helmet on. This one's probably my least favourite, and apologies if it goes off screen at any point. My camera was a bit too heavy for how I had it positioned, so it just kind of started to sag a little bit. Right, so this one is the only one I used a reference for, just to look at like the positioning of different craters and marks on the moon. I don't know if it's cheating to have drawn like half a thing in this space rather than drawing something that would be a semicircle shape, if you know what I mean. Well, it's not cheating because I set the challenge for myself, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I was happy with this idea. I don't know if I've ever drawn a moon like this before, so it was fun. I thought it was a cool idea, and I think it turned out alright. Okay, so this is actually the last one. I'll tell you why I didn't fill in the other space on the page in a bit. This one took a lot of thinking as well. Sometimes it helps to break it up into different shapes, so in doing that with the sharp pointed bit of the shape, I got the idea that it could be a bow, and the bow could be attached to a teddy bear that's like sagging, leaning up against a wall. This one went surprisingly well as well, for something that I don't have a lot of drawing experience with. Now for the space next to it, I genuinely couldn't think of anything, and I was racking my brain for ages, and then I thought maybe a fresh pair of eyes could help. So rather than one fresh pair of eyes, I thought you all could weigh in with some ideas. There are so many great creative people that watch these videos, and you guys have helped me so much in the past, so yeah, I'd love to hear if you can see anything in this weird shape. But yeah, thanks for watching anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!